What's going on, everyone? So, Matthew Lillard, right? Stu Macher. He loves to just kind of mess and poke and turn and twist and, just keep us on our toes, keep us guessing. You gotta love it, right? Well, Matthew Lillard was recently at Planet Comic Con 2025, and he said, yes, he did film Scream 7, that he was there and in person filming, right? And he may or may not have blood on his hands, is what he said. And of course, this is something where it's like, does this mean he's back and he's killing people? Is he running through people? It really depends, I think, on what side of the fence you are. Are you on the Stu's alive and this is the movie, he's finally coming back? Or are you on the other side where it's like, nah, Stu's dead, move on, move past it? Because you can make an argument based on this statement either way, right? I may or may not have blood on his hands. The easiest thing is that he's trolling the audience, right? He's done it, for years now, right? Dating back to like Scream 5, right? When people thought he was coming back and stuff like that. I mean, he even made these kind of jokes leading into Scream 5, and people thought he was the killer in Scream 5. It turns out, no, he wasn't, right? So there's that side of it. There is the whole, he's just, again, like I said, he's trolling. I can't tell you, but I may or may not have blood on my hands, right? So there's that side. There is the argument for, which is that, no, he is in this film. He's been giving us some subtle clues and hints that he's not just in the film just to be in the film, but he's actually in the film as Ghostface and is going to be the killer once again, right? And, having blood on his hands, hey, how did he get that unless he's killing people, right? Like, there's that kind of argument of it. And then there is the argument of like, well, duh, right? Like, he's always had blood on his hands, right? So if he's in this film, he has blood on his hands, right? Even if he's just flashback or whatever, he's had blood on his hands, right? Maybe the flashback is with him. Maybe it's him having his first kill, right? Like, there's a lot of things that we could do in this. There's a lot of like, directions that they could choose to go and how they want to approach this with Stu Macher or Matthew Lillard. Right? I am not a fan. I mean, I'm sure many of you are aware. I've made it very abundant and clear. I am not a fan of Stu Macher returning. I just am not. I'd rather them continue to stay forward, continue to go in a new direction. I don't think you need to drum up the past, because once you open that Pandora's box, it's hard to shut it, because now you can just always go back. Okay, well, what if Randy never died? What if he, what if, Jill, like, things can start going off the rails rather quickly here. And it's been 30 years, right? Like, nothing. We've had more mentions of him being dead than anything, right? Like, we've gotten confirmation on several occasions, right? But I get it. There's a large group of people that think, it's all nonsense, and try to pull things out of left field that they interpret, right, as he's alive. Regardless, I really want them to just give us confirmation one way or another, right? I got in Scream 5 that you wanted to kind of play into it. Right, plus Matthew Lillard was back in the film, right? He was Chrome Mask Ghostface, right? I get in Scream 5, you kind of wanted to play into it a little bit. Okay, fine. Then you go into Scream 6, and it's like, this would be a good time to, like, confirm, and they did. They confirmed him. You see it on Kirby's board, who's an FBI agent that would know better than anybody, right? Like, that he's dead, deceased. It says deceased, right? There's a couple mentions of it. But then you get the whole, like, towards the end where, or not towards the end, but I guess middle, where Mindy's like, yeah, if you believe those things, like, and I get she's supposed to be the voice of the audience stuff, but don't even like toy with that stuff. Like, just confirm, because if you give the Stu stands any glimpse of like, oh, he might be alive, they're going to run with it. It's just how it works, right? If you're going to have him be alive, then fine, make him alive and get it over with, right? Like, quit drawing it out, because the longer you draw it out, the worse it is. Right, so to me, I want them to kind of pick a lane. Either confirm he's dead and move on, and that's that. I mean, obviously there'll be references and stuff to him at some points in the franchise because he was one of the original killers, right? But outside of just like reference point, we need confirmation he's dead. Like we need, no, Stu is dead type thing, right? Confirmed by whoever, the killer, Sydney, whatever. Problem is, even if you get that, there's still going to be people that are like, no, like of course they just said that, like, oh, if Ghostface said it, it's because they don't want him to know he's going to be the big reveal, right? Like, or, oh, Sydney, she wouldn't know because he's in hiding, right? Like there's always going to be something, but we need confirmation. We need like something on the thing, like here's his body in the coroner, right? Dead, right? He's been dead for hours at this point, right? Like you need something like that. And maybe that's what he means by blood on his hands, right? Maybe he's all bloody and stuff, just laying there dead in the thing, and you finally get the confirmation you need, because I do want them to pick a direction. But from Matthew Lillard's standpoint, you keep poking, right? Like, I'm talking about a studio standpoint, right? But from Matthew Lillard's standpoint, keep poking, right? That's what you're here to do. That's the fun. That's the beauty of it, right? Like, so this isn't anything about Matthew Lillard. He's doing his job, right? He's doing what he's supposed to do. Rally the troops, get the fans hyped. Like, I love it. I love what Matthew Lillard has been doing and just kind of, keeping them at bay. I don't buy it. I think he's been doing this for years, right? Hasn't been in this film. He's made it abundantly clear that he wants to return, and it hasn't happened. So clearly the direction isn't there yet. Maybe it happens. Regardless, I do think Matthew Lillard is, he's having a go, right? He's having a fun, and he enjoys it. He does all these cons and stuff like that. He loves doing these cons and stuff, and gets to interact and joke, and gets to again keep poking at the Scream fans of like, oh, hey, maybe I have blood on my hands. Hey, I might be in the movie. Maybe I return as a killer, right? Like he's just like. Yeah, it's like, come on, dude. You know what he knows, right? You don't think he knows what his character's doing? He just filmed it. He's done. He knows what it is. He even said, I just finished filming, right? Like, so he knows what they're gonna do with him, right? But obviously, he can't divulge that. Obviously, he can't, put that out there or nothing. He's got to keep that hush hush. But we'll see. I still don't buy that he's in the film, but I do think it's interesting that he said he had blood on his hands. Obviously, it's something that we got to talk about, right? Something that we gotta. Have a conversation with, because I do think it's important. I do think it's something that needs to be addressed. Because what if he does? Look, I've said, as much as I'm not a fan of him returning, if they were ever going to bring him back, it's this film. I wholeheartedly believe if he doesn't come back for this film as the killer, he's not coming back. This is the only way it would make sense, unless they do the cult route and like. You have the big Ghostface reveal, like in Scream 8, maybe, but I don't know. Anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you love Matthew Lillard kind of poking and messing around? Do you not? Do you think that he has blood on his hands? Do you think he's not? Do you think he's alive? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are. Either way, I'd love to hear it, so let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.